And good evening, Center Grove Trojan fans. Excited to be back. Center Grove high school athletics, Trojan wrestling. Man, it's going to be a great season. I'm Blake Harvey. I'm joined by Matt Kelly. And Matt, I tell you what, man, it's exciting to be back. You know, COVID was kind of a rough year. My hat goes off to the Center Grove administrators and to everybody at the IHSAA, you know, getting wrestling through, getting us through the state tournament, but we definitely had to make some modifications. I'm really looking forward to this year, both for Center Grove and the state just in general.
Yeah, definitely. I think this year, especially like being able to have a full crowd back again, you know, getting a full season doesn't really feel like we're worried about, you know, losing any meets or losing mat time or anything. And then the team that we have this year, I don't think that there was a better year that we could come back, you know, especially with the team that we have this year. This is, in my opinion, probably one of the best teams that I think we've ever had.
Oh, yeah, and, you know, it's not just your opinion that has that. Center Grove's currently ranked 4th in the state. Speaking of which, we're off to a quick start here with Hyatt Yeager. Longtime Trojan fans will remember him. He was in the varsity lineup. He's been in the varsity lineup multiple times. Just, you know, because of the strength of this Trojan team, you're going to see some high-caliber wrestlers that are on we don't even call them JV around here. We just call them second varsity or the next man up. Hyatt was a semi-state qualifier. I mean, he was a match away from going to state last year, and, you know, now he's, you know, fighting for a varsity spot. That just really speaks to how good this Center Grove team is.
Yeah, like you said, to have, you know, not even just Hyatt. I mean, there are multiple guys that are in this varsity 2 lineup that you know, any of them semi-state state qualifying caliber. You know, just the depth of this lineup is incredible.
Oh, yeah, and here we go with Hyatt. You know, he's right to work on his feet, and then now he's getting some near falls, just some quick turns. You know, I guess we'll start off with kind of a recap of last year. The Varsity 2, they went to JV State and won the JV State title in pretty dominant fashion. And there's Hyatt with a fall
Speaking
right
of dominant
there.
fashion, first period fall.
And you know, here's the crazy thing: it doesn't get any easier for the you know, JV Mooresville team, as they're looking at another semi-state qualifier in Michael LaRocca. Most, you know, programs, a semi-state qualifier would be the guy. Definitely 2 of them, you know what I mean? So to have 2 semi-state qualifiers on your backup squad, I mean, that just speaks to the lightweight depth that is.
Hyatt Yeager had a win last year over a wrestler from Cathedral who placed at the state tournament.
Yeah. Well, and you look at Michael LaRocca, he's ranked in the state right now. Ranked in the state, and can't break the varsity lineup here at Center Grove. I mean, I hope you fans out there can tell how excited the 2 of us are to talk about Center Grove wrestling. Just right away, Michael's in on a shot, quick takedown. Expect nothing less. There's a beautiful fireman's carry. He's going to pick up some near fall. The Varsity 2 guys got a start to their season this past weekend. I don't want to misspeak, at Brownsburg.
Yep.
Had some pretty good teams there, but was able to walk through the competition. I think we had like 8 champs. One of them, the only loss was to another Center Grove kid. I mean, the cupboard's definitely not bare. We've got some young guys we'll see later in the varsity lineup that'll take the Trojans for the next couple years, but then just, man, everybody, next man up. That's why Coach Swain has this next man up mentality.
Yeah.
And there we go.
There we go again with another first period fall from Michael LaRocca.
We're getting ready to have
again, it doesn't get any easier. Silas Stitz, a freshman this year, who
again in the hunt for a varsity spot at 2 different weight classes.
Yeah,
you know, he's either Drew Mills, who is also ranked in the state at 138 pounds, or, you know, the returning state runner-up at 145. I mean, there'd be a lot of places that they'd love to have Silas, and he'd be the guy. I mean, there we go with a quick fireman's attempt, right back in on a double leg. Good penetration, good finish right here. We'll see what he can do from top again. This is Silas Stitz. Some of you longer Trojan wrestling fans will remember his older brother placed for the Trojans, and then is now currently wrestling D3 at Manchester College. So
Yeah, I think his brother might have been a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah.
And then he's got another older brother who was just a year under me.
Yep. I'm going to say, I'm talking about Shane. I remember Shane. Shane, of course, placed fourth his senior year. And then this is Silas's freshman year. And by all accounts, Silas may be the best of them all. So, looking forward. He is working on top. Got a couple wrist rolls in there, picking up some near fall. He's already jumped out to a 6-1 lead. And like I said, these last couple matches just kind of display the depth that Center Grove has.
Yeah, and Silas Stitt's probably one of the strongest freshmen, that's in our lineup. He actually goes and he travels nationally, competes in weightlifting.
Yeah, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was a rep away from setting the
national record.
The national record for bench press.
Bench press, yep.
Yep. So he's kind of monitoring his weight and getting good workouts in all year round. That kind of speaks to not only the hard work that he does to be competitive in wrestling, but then also just the good support staff we have here at Center Grove with, Marty Mills and a lot of the, just training staff and the weights that can be hit. There's another beautiful fireman's carry. Keeps the arm this time. He's going to pick up some more near fall. There's two more, so he's going to lead the match right now 8-2 with 18 seconds to go in the first period. So far, Center Grove's Varsity 2, JV, depending on what you want to call them, next man up, has had 2 falls and a pretty dominant showing right now in this match.
Yeah, this is the first match that we're going to have tonight that's made it out of the first period.
Yep. So we'll have the referee flip the disc. It's going to be Mooresville. Nope. Correction.
Center Grove choice.
Center Grove choice. Silas is going to choose down. Go ahead and get set. Referee giving commands. Again, the score is 8-2. Going into the second period, we'll see what Silas can do from bottom. Nice big explosion. Gets to the hands. Turn cut away. Right to an underhook. And the trip. Center Grove coaching staff will be pretty excited about the explosion from bottom and getting in on an offensive takedown right away.
Silas running the butcher here on top.
There he is. He works to try to get it across right here. He's going to change this off into a side headlock. Looking for the fall. He's got plenty of time to do it. He's got 1:15. Make some small adjustments here. Oh, Mooresville's going to go ahead and fight off his back.
And there's the fall by Silas Stitz, just a little over a minute in the second period.
Trojans stay perfect with the falls, and not quite as dominant or ranked in the state, but Putzik here, it's another guy that's been in and out of the varsity, got a ton of experience, getting ready to wrestle. Look for him to get off to a fast start too. I tell you what, while they're getting checked in and everything else, this would be a great time to mention our sponsor, Matt. Tonight's sponsor for us is Jones Barbershop, and they do an awesome job. That's actually where I just got my haircut. They welcome walk-ins. You can book online. You can call 317-360-9470 and follow on all social media. Man, like I said, Putzik just
off to a quick start.
Experience. This is dominant, a senior. I mean, and the Trojans stay perfect. Pins all the way around. So, looks like there's some confusion by the wrestler on it kind of happened fast or whatever. Putzik, ever the sportsman, that's what we like to see, shaking hands. I tell you what, man, this crowd is good to see for opening night. Have all the Trojan fans back. Good to see our new athletic director, longtime athletic director, John Zawitt, retired. And so we've got a new head athletic director and a new assistant director. So good to see them in the building. Here we are with another senior. we'll see if Center Grove can remain perfect on the night. Nice.
Sam Strauss hit on a nice double leg. He's going to go ahead and cut him.
Yeah, Sam really likes to work from his feet. And, if you have a good, powerful double leg like that, why not let it rip? So if my notes are correct, Sam's wrestling Gibson from Mooresville. Sam on top with a half?
Deep half.
Plenty of time to make it work. He's got 1:13.
He's making some small adjustments, not rushing.
Yeah, I mean, with over a minute on the clock, no need to hurry anything up. We got a veteran referee tonight. Been around the sport of Indiana wrestling for a long, long time.
Center Grove stays perfect with all falls here.
Yes, sir. Sam Strauss, another solid senior who a lot of programs would be lucky to have. Center Grove's lucky to have him, too. I shouldn't say it quite like that, but, just, man, I can't get over looking up and down the roster, the just experience, and not only just as far as juniors and seniors experience, but the true experience of, wrestling a lot of matches, go into these off-season tournaments, go into these off-season conditioning and weightlifting. I mean, there's been a lot of kids put in a lot of work. Okay, so now after Sam Strauss, we have another Center Grove senior at 160, Brandon Martin, and he'll be taking on Joe Coffey of Mooresville. And right away, he's got his opponent, Coffey, in trouble. Oh, going to let him go right on the edge. One escape, and the referee's going to let him fix his headgear and return to the center. But, 2 minutes in a period, 20 seconds in, and we've already got a takedown. Head coach Swain's going to be happy with that. And we're back. Got another takedown on Coffey. Another half, trying to run it down. He's got his man in trouble. And again, was able to roll out of it. That'll be a 4-2, pick up 2 more back points. So should be 6-2 when the referee gets everything on the board. And just like that, right back in on the takedown and scoring a near fall, wasting no time. Still got just about a minute to try to close this out, but they're on the out of bounds, close to the out of bounds line. So I expect this to...
Credit to this Mooresville wrestler fighting off his back like this.
Multiple times, definitely.
Martin's not a dude that puts you on your back and doesn't give everything that he's got just to try to keep you there. And he is one strong kid.
Yeah, you know what? You're dead on with that. Martin's one of those guys that works hard and non-traditional strong is how I'll put that. Believe me, I think if he goes to the weight room, I think he's stronger than your average person, but like just when he gets a hold of you or whatever, if anybody that's wrestled around with him, even coaches will tell me he's got good grips. He's just got a kind of
just a really natural strength.
Yeah, some people might call it like farm strong or natural strength, or just you can tell man, this guy's got a hold of me. Like you said, he doesn't usually let people off his back. This Mooresville opponent, Mr. Coffey, is really competing well. And there's the fall. Center Grove staying perfect on the night.
I think we got Mason Crump coming up here next.
Yep, and that's another guy that's been in and out of the varsity lineup his entire career. Still looking to try to get into the varsity lineup himself. That's the thing. It's a long season. Some of these guys with this much competition will go in and out of the varsity lineup. Unfortunately, injuries happen, and there's different things like that. But just also kids get better. They start to figure out things, get weight management, start to pick up on different moves and stuff. So, this is a good testament, and everyone wants to, shake off the rust, get out there and wrestle. But this lineup is by no means set. February we can see a much better and a much different Center Grove lineup.
In almost all these lineups, we're just as well off with the second guy as we are the first guy.
Oh yeah,
which is going to be a really big thing for us this year that we're going into the team state.
Yep, that's a good thing to hit on right there. Center Grove, there's a lot of people that thought last year, and the numbers would support it, that Center Grove should have been invited to team state last year, but unfortunately was not. They had some different rules. They've actually even changed those. I'm going to jokingly call them the Center Grove rule, where they now leave a space open at Team State. The Team State, the top 8 teams in the state go, and then starting this year, they're only inviting 7, and then they're going to take a look midway through the year and see who the 8th best team in the state is. I think if they had that rule, Center Grove would have went last year.
Oh, definitely would have went last year. Had a ton of wins.
And Trojans stay perfect again. Nice fall by Crump. But anyways, Center Grove definitely getting the respect it deserves this year with not only the 4th place ranking overall in the state, but then also an invite to Team State. And really, I'm sure Coach Swain has expressed to his varsity wrestlers they really need to do a good job, put up big points, and kind of get the highest seed they can get tonight. Because that's one of those things, kind of like college football, where sometimes it's not just enough to win, it's also how you win how pretty it is and everything else. If our second man up is any indication, these guys are primed and ready to wrestle. There's a nice shot by our Center Grove. And this is going to be an exhibition at 170. So this is our second 170 match of the night. They're doing an exhibition, and this will be between Sierra Patterson and Randy Schneider. I believe I'm pronouncing that last name right.
Rainey Schneider and Sierra Patton.
Ah, see, sometimes you can't read your own scribbles. Thanks for catching that for me, Matt. And just like that, in on a side headlock, looking for a fall, referee down and in position.
Mooresville looks like they've got 2 girls on their team this year.
Indiana girls wrestling is evolving and growing, and I'm here for it. This is fun stuff.
Yeah, we have one girl on our team too.
Not just a girl; she's ranked 10th in the country. It's kind of underselling it.
Yeah, I get the pleasure to go with her to the girls tournaments that she wrestles at on the weekends, and her and I went out to Northview last weekend, and if there would have been an outstanding wrestler of the tournament, it would have been her. Obviously, you have six minutes in a match, and she wrestled four matches on Saturday, and she was only on the mat for 2 minutes and 57 seconds.
Man, that's impressive. I tell you what, she had her own accolades before she came here, and I think she's only improved in this room. And that's a credit to her and this coaching staff. She's been working hard. I know she stayed after a couple times to work with her brother and work with the coaching staff and whatnot.
Yeah, her brother we'll see later tonight here. Yep. He's in the varsity lineup at 132 pounds.
And, obviously I'm biased. She's Center Grove Trojan. It's fun to have her on our team. There's a lot of teams that she probably would be the varsity starter. It's just Center Grove's depth. I mean, we were talking about it to start this varsity 2 match off. You got guys that are semi-state qualifiers that are on the backup. That's starting, when you look at Center Grove's 120 through 132, it's 2 state qualifiers, 3 semi-state qualifiers. So you got 5 guys with big-time experience for, 2 weight classes.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one thing that she's even okay.
I was going to say, I think we're going to take a break for a second. Okay. Correction, I'm sorry. JV's over, and I thought we were going to take a break. But while we're going to take a break from this conversation, excuse us, and I want to go ahead and mention our sponsor again. So, again, the sponsor tonight, bringing our voices and bringing this Trojan Wrestling, again, the 4th-ranked Center Grove Trojans, is Jones Barbershop. Jones Barbershop here in the Center Grove community. They're a huge supporter of Center Grove athletics. They accept walk-ins. You can book online at jonesbarbershop.com. You can call for an appointment at 317-360-9470. And go ahead and be sure to like and follow on Facebook and Instagram at Jones Barbershop 317. So a huge thank you to Jones Barbershop for supporting us and for letting the Center Grove Trojans and let it broadcast out there. And, Hopefully we'll start the varsity match off here in a second. Here come the Trojans, led by senior Drake Buchanan, and man, I'm excited. You know, as I'm watching these guys circle up and run around, Center Grove, there's 14 weight classes for those of you that may not know out there. There's 14 high school weight classes. Center Grove came into this year with 11 ranked wrestlers. So I'm no mathematician. That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, there's only a handful of other programs in the state of Indiana that have 11 guys or more in their lineup ranked, and I think all of them are in the top 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's at this point, Center Grove is ascended kind of that who's who of powerful schools. I think, you know, like you were saying, the only ones that have maybe more than 11 or tied with 11 ranked wrestlers would be, you know, perennial powers, Evansville Mater Dei, Brownsburg starting to get up there, then Crown Point. You know, past that, which is, you know, hey, look at that, Brownsburg, Crown Point, Mater Dei, and then Center Grove. That's why we're ranked 4th in the state. So,
yeah.
You know, a lot of big things expected as we look to the center mat. The referee's going to explain his rules and his expectations. We've got 3 of our seniors out there, all with state experience. So the tallest one there with the dark hair, that's Drake Buchanan. He is a Air Force commit. Yeah, so, you know, really cool to see him be able to carry on his, you know, athletic and academic and also be able to serve our country. You know, just a great young man that represents this high school and this community, and then is going to take his talents all the way out to Colorado. That's fun. In addition to all that, pretty smart, and he's got a red ring, and he's looking for a blue one this year. He's the returning state runner-up at 182 pounds.
And he is back at 182 pounds again.
Currently ranked number 1 in the state. Next to him, we got a little bit, you know, we were gushing over Drake, but right next to him was also an equally talented Hayden Watson.
Who's committed to the Citadel, which is a military academy.
Yep, it's one of the 7 senior military. So the difference between, you know, the main military academies that everyone knows of as far as the Air Force, West Point, and Annapolis is that you don't have a military responsibility with them like Virginia Military, Citadel, until your senior year, and you kind of have that choice. But another kind of call to service, I don't know what his future plans are going to be, but, you know, 2 D1 wrestlers, both returning state runner-ups, just, you know, kind of frickin' frack leaders of this team. You know, they both do their leadership in different ways. Some, you know, one's more vocal, one's not, but you know, you can't go wrong following either one. If you follow either one of them, you know, you're headed in the right direction. And then the third one out there was Michael Tharp, who was a state qualifier himself last year. So pretty good when your 3 captains that you send out to the mat are all guys that have been to state. So we've got, you know, I'd say Drake and Hayden, they kind of they're the pillars of this Center Grove team, but there's a lot of semi-state and state experience just up and down the roster, sprinkled in with I didn't think we could get any younger than we were last year, but you know, we talked about it, we joked about it, especially at county, about how young the team was that was winning sectional and county titles. But man, those guys have become sophomores and are still in the fight, and now we've got some really, really good freshmen. So I'm excited to see everybody take the mat. We'll pause for a moment as we do the national anthem. All right, Trojan fans. Like I said, we took a brief break there so that we could do our national anthem. I tell you what, Matt, I know for me, and I'm sure for you, being in this historic gymnasium, the Pitt Gymnasium, watching wrestling, hearing the national anthem, even all these years later, graduated in 2007, I still get a little bit of a chill. It's just, and the fact that we're ranked 4th, and I'm so excited to see this lineup, it just keeps adding to it.
Yeah, just being able to come back to this gym, I remember wrestling in the same gym when I was in high school. I remember my senior night, and it's a lot of fun, really. It's a lot of fun to be able to come back here and be with all you guys and get to watch, just really how this program's evolved even since I've been here.
Definitely. And I tell you what, as I'm looking around at this great crowd, there's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people that have been at the program for a long, long time. As we mentioned earlier, we've got both of our athletic directors. They're taking a little bit of a brief break, from all the excitement with football and all of our other sports that are finishing up from that season as we transition into this season. Center Grove, the breaks don't work almost or whatever. As we transition into the winter sports, we've got the wrestling team that's ranked 4th, an always good swimming and diving program. Everybody's looking forward to men's and women's basketball. There's just a lot. If you thought the first part of the year was fun for Center Grove athletics, I promise you the middle part will be just as fun. Now the
Looks
wrestlers.
Like there was a little bit of confusion on the rosters for the face-off.
Yep, I was going to say, but going through doing their face-off, the wrestlers get a chance to shake hands, the coaches get to talk, any last-minute adjustments. We're going to start off tonight at 106, and it'll be a returning varsity 106-pounder, Charlie LaRocca, and he was a match away from going to state, lost a tight one to Columbus East in what's known as the ticket round or the go round here in the state of Indiana. So he's back at the same weight class, year older, year wiser, really looking forward to wrestling and punching his ticket through to state this year.
His opponent from Mooresville is going to be Tyler Gentry, if I'm reading that right.
Yep. I would be remiss if I didn't mention all of the Center Grove football players that are in attendance. Now, some of these football players do double duty. They're the upper weights and some of the middle weights on this powerful Trojan team, both, for the wrestling and the football. So here supporting, watching as one season comes to an end, looking at the other. We wish them all the luck, not that they need it, to win another football state title. We're in on a nice scramble. LaRocca able to come out on top. Gentry
no
doing
score here yet. Though.
Yeah, Gentry doing a fine job of hanging on, trying to stay in that double leg position. We'll see as Charlie works his way out of it. He's got his underhook, takes a high crotch attempt. Nothing doing there, and they're back to the feet. All that action for basically for free. Gotta love that. We still got 1:13 left. LaRocca in on inside control. Tell the Mooresville.
Nice double leg by
almost
Charlie
looked like he was
LaRocca.
going to go right to his back right there.
Yeah.
Gentry thinks about it. Wisely bellies out. You can tell the Mooresville coach knows this is an important one. This is an important match. He's already to his feet, trying to give instructions to his wrestler. And in some ways, it is. I shouldn't undersell it. You never want to overlook your opponent. This has got big ramifications. This is a sectional opponent. Yeah. Last year, this dual meet didn't happen. Mooresville was successful in their football campaign, and they felt that they couldn't compete without their big guys. Obviously, Center Grove's pretty used to having a successful football program. Coach Moore and co. does a great job. So I know Swain's just, that's part of the way he sets his season up. He knows his football guys are going to be making a deep state run, and that's the way we like it. And we'll get them when their season's over, and go from there. It is interesting to look at program to program how some programs will wait and say, hey, we're not ready, and others will say, hey, we're going right full force. So, start of the second period, it's 5-0 La Rocca. They elect to go neutral, and why wouldn't you, with some powerful takedowns and some good defense from Charlie. Another high crotch in, kind of turns it to single, still driving. Hasn't kind of made up his mind whether he's, well, looks like he's going to go waterfall position. Brings the leg to him, just almost textbook right here. We'll see if he can push that knee across and pop his head out for the 2-point takedown. Gentry doing everything he can to kind of lock up the back end and keep the ankles and, keep him from popping his head out.
There's that head comes popping out, and referee holds up 2 points there, makes the score 7-0 for Charlie La Rocca.
Indeed. So Charlie is the middle of the three brothers. We saw his older brother, Michael La Rocca, start off the Varsity 2 guys with that quick fall. And then they've got a younger brother, Dan, who is in middle school. So La Rocca is no stranger to wrestling. And he's got double
Charlie
wings.
With double wings.
And there's the fall.
There's the fall. We're starting off again at 106 pounds now with a fall, and team score is going to be 6-0.
And I tell you what, hats off to Gentry. Good competition, stayed in there and fought, but that's just an onslaught from Charlie La Rocca. He's a year older, a year bigger at the same weight class. He's been working hard in the off season. There'll be things to improve on that match, but he's got to feel good with that one. And a quick takedown by Eddie.
Shot there by Eddie Goss. Eddie Goss, the 113-pounder here, and I will tell you what, you give up a takedown to Eddie Goss, he will make you pay for it on top.
As you see with the double legs coming in, already got his opponent to flat on his belly. And for those of you at home that don't understand, man, that's just a ton of pressure. Imagine somebody your exact same weight, sitting on the small of your back and applying pressure. Eddie, one of those young guys that we were talking about, that's a freshman, able to crack this lineup, and just so far a stellar performance. He's got to like how his varsity high school career is starting off. He's got a takedown, some near fall, and he's got plenty of time. He's got a minute 20 almost to put this away. Mooresville opponent doing a great job of belling out, trying to fight.
He's going to try to get that double wing locked up just like the Rocket. He's got him stacked over, and that's going to be it.
That's going to be, when it's stacked up like that, it's
106, 113, back-to-back falls. Team score is going to be Center Grove 12, Mooresville 0.
And here we go at 120. Got a sophomore, Charlie La Rocca's classmate, Reese Courtney. Reese Courtney had a pretty outstanding freshman campaign. Took it all the way to the state tournament. County champion, regional champion.
Lost Friday night, and probably one of the best matches that we see all year with that.
As a Center Grove fan, I may be biased, but yeah, no, it was a great match. Got a lot of extra wrestling as it went the entire, complete, total, ultimate ride-out distance. So
same way it went at the conference tournament too. Did it go
exactly
all the way at the conference?
Indeed, it did. We're talking about Reese Courtney. He was lost Friday night to MIC conference foe Kyrell Lavelle, and rumor has it Kyrell will be going 120 as well this year, so we could see a rematch and get a lot of extra wrestling. Reese right away on the attack there. Go ahead and kicks his man loose. Nice fireman's carry. He's able to get his opponent airborne. That's another 2-point takedown. He's going to go ahead and kick him loose. Got his hands moving. Good snap here.
Head in the hole, chasing that back leg. Another takedown.
So with a minute left, he's got a 6-2 lead.
We'll see him get to work on top here now. Trying to pull that wrist out.
Yep. Almost Spencer Lee, Iowa-esque style. And Mooresville opponent kind of just trying to decide which way is up. And when you get a wing and a half like that, there's almost no good way to look. And just like that, with 36 seconds still left, Center Grove gets another fall. That'll be a good start to Reese Courtney's career. He's another one of those guys that's ranked in the state. As we mentioned earlier, Center Grove's got not one, not two, but 11, count them, 11 ranked wrestlers in the state. And it doesn't get any easier for the next Mooresville opponent, as this is senior Michael La Rocca, also a state qualifier.
Senior Michael Tharp.
Or Michael Tharp, correction, sorry. Thank you.
2 Michaels.
2 Michaels, around the same weight, both heck of a wrestler. Anyways, Michael Tharp, state qualifier last year at 126 pounds, back at 126 pounds. Just like the 3 previous weight classes, aggressive early, with a takedown and release. We've got 1:42 to go.
Nice
Center
low
Grove
shot,
leads
I thought.
18-0. In on another one. Gonna go for the half, suck back, and we're gonna go out of bounds.
Yeah, again, I mean, Tharp's one and only loss at the state tournament last year was to Zeke Seltzer, who's
That guy's pretty good.
he's pretty good.
He's got two state titles and a runner-up.
Yeah, committed to Missouri. I mean, if Michael pulls anybody else on that Friday night, Michael's probably on the podium.
Definitely. Looks like Tharp is taking on Griffin Sanders of Mooresville. He's got a wing and a tight waist. Running it. Got a minute to go here in the first period. Tharp leads 6-2. I tell you what, I hate that I made a mistake on his name since, he deserves all the credit or whatever, but I feel like I got to talk a mile a minute. They're into the matches so fast, and these guys have so many accolades. If I don't start firing off facts, I'm not going to get them out.
Yeah,
Center Grove so far perfect on every match, fall after fall after fall.
Team score 18-0 for the Trojans.
And we've got 25 seconds to go here in the first period. Tharp leads 6-2. Side headlock attempt, and he gets it. Referee trying to get in position right there.
And I think, going back to what you said before this meet started, kind of like the NCAA football rankings, it's not about just winning. It's about, having a dominant performance. And I think that a lot of these wrestlers understand that when it comes to going into seeding for that team state duels this year, that, they're gonna come out here every duel like this and just try to be as absolutely dominating as possible.
Indeed. And, Swain and Co. has really tried to instill that, hey, don't wait, do it now in all aspects of, your homework, doing your chores around the house, on the wrestling match. Don't wait, do it now. And if you don't want to be that guy to do it now,
somebody else will.
Exactly. And as we saw from that Varsity 2, they
a
are ready
lot of
to
guys
go.
that are ready to do it right now.
So we got inside trip attempt by Mooresville. Sniffed out by Tharp and countered. That'll be another 2-point takedown. Score is 13-3. So at this point, if we don't get a fall, we're looking at least a major, possibly a tech. I'm sure Tharp's not done. Going for that head lever. Cradle attempted. A lot of pressure on that side.
It's locked up. He's got it tight.
Looking for bottom knee on the side. Give credit where credit's due. A lot of these Mooresville athletes are fighting hard. It's taken Center Grove 1, 2, 3 attempts of putting them on their back to get them pinned. We've seen that, all the way from the JV through the varsity. So 15-4 your score right now. 46 seconds to go in the second period. Center Grove in the lead. Tharp in the lead. Underhook, strong underhook, whip by, takedown. And looks like he's going to kind of just do a suck back here, see if he can get some points here on the edge with 25 seconds to go. Got his man in trouble. Leg slips in. Current score is 17-4, and the ref is holding points, so getting dangerously close to a tech fall here.
Tharp's going to try to pick up the fall if he can, but if this Mooresville wrestler fights off his back here, they're just going to have to end it with a tech fall.
Yep, and he's got 4 seconds, 3 seconds, counting down here. One way or the other, the match is won. So the first match of the night that doesn't end in a Center Grove fall ends with the next best thing, a Center Grove tech fall. And you know what? Some ways, tech falls may not get the points for it, but it's almost just as impressive. So we were talking about his sister earlier. now we see the other Krejcia, and he's a pretty good wrestler. He's not ranked like his sister in the Nick country, but, you know, he's a pretty good wrestler in himself. So, returning semi-state qualifier, and Center Grove's expecting a lot out of him at 32. Big double leg. Nice return there, 2-point. We've still got 1:49 left in wrestling, so didn't waste any time getting on his takedowns. So Wyatt Krejcia at 132 pounds for Center Grove is taking on O'Brien for Mooresville at 132 pounds. We'll have an intentional release here from Krejcia. 1:39 to go.
Wyatt's currently ranked 15th in the state.
In on another
qualifier a year ago.
In on another good double leg. So with 1:30 to go in the first period, we're already Center Grove's already up 4-1. Going to be intentional release here, 4-2. I bet we see another double leg. What do you want to bet?
You're wrong. Look at that single leg.
No, that was he finished with 2 legs. Either way, single or double, another takedown for Wyatt.
Almost any leg attack he takes, if he touches your legs, he's going to finish. He's got to be one of the most just explosive wrestlers that
and I tell you what, if Martin for the Varsity 2 was like a natural strong or kind of a farm strong, Krejcia is just strong.
Yeah, strong. I mean,
yeah, he's
his favorite style isn't folk style. His favorite style is actually Greco-Roman, one of the Olympic styles, which is all upper body. Yeah, yep. And I'm like one of the only coaches that really likes Greco, so I get to work with him on that a lot. And the bad thing is that it sucks. I have to be his partner most of the time.
Oh, well, I don't envy getting tossed on my head.
He is strong. And
I tell you what, stinking to that strength, he's got his opponent in trouble right here with 17 seconds to go.
And there's the
fall. Center Grove rolls. That'll be another 6 points, bringing our team score to 29-0.
And, looking at it, there's a lot of wrestlers tonight that are getting their first wins ever in a Center Grove varsity singlet. Wyatt being one of them. Another one was
Eddie Goss.
And
speaking right on that train, man, I don't want to steal your words, but I think I know where you're going with this one. The anticipated, the long-awaited, the way overdue Drew Mills in a Center Grove singlet, and just like that, already a quick takedown and escape. This is one of those young men that's
been around.
He's been around the program for a long time. His dad is our head strength and conditioning coach here at Center Grove. Gets all of our athletes from cheerleading to wrestling, swimming to football in shape and ready to compete. And Drew is just a powerhouse. I'll tell you what, unfortunately, he had some health issues last year that prevented him from competing. Went ahead and made the decision to get healthy, get everything right, and here he is back for his sophomore year. He's one of those guys that just, he go. He's got beautiful takedowns. He's also ranked in the state, and before his freshman year, coming into his freshman year, before the injury, he was ranked nationally.
Yeah.
Part of that powerful Center Grove sophomore class that, LaRocca, Reese Courtney, Drew Mills, this sophomore class is here to stay, and they'll be fun to watch for a couple years to come. Drew already has his opponent in trouble. He's leading 11-3. Trojans leading 29-0. There's 50 seconds left in the first period.
Score now 14-3 after that 3-point near fall. And Drew's got a
leg in and a power half, and I mean a power half.
Yeah, that's a bottom side of a power half I'm not sure that I'd like to be on.
No, going back, like I said, I can't stress enough to the viewers. I know that you know what I'm talking about, but for all our viewers out there, you put somebody your size right on the small of your back and you have them crank on your shoulders, it's not a great place to be. Referee calling potentially dangerous. Score right now, 14-3. Drew going to say, all right, we'll go on our feet. I'm pretty good there. So score now 14-4.
Big
in on another double leg. And, man, seeing no signs of injury right there as he powers through back-to-back takedowns, putting on a takedown clinic. And I'm just excited to see this man in a Center Grove singlet. So with like that, first period ends. We're rolling right into the second period. 2 minutes on the clock. We'll have a decision. Mills is going to elect to go neutral, leading 18-6.
And why not go neutral? He scored 6 or 7 takedowns.
And there's another one.
That's going to end the match. Another tech fall.
So Center Grove's gone fall, 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 tech fall, fall, tech fall. It's a great day to be a Trojan.
Yeah, I don't know the last time we've had a performance like this.
And we're going to go ahead and sound like a broken record because it doesn't get any easier because this is 2-time state placer Hayden Watson, like we said previous, committed to wrestle D1 at Citadel. And he's got some fancy footwork going. There's a takedown. He's got a minute 45 left to go in the first period. There's only 2 minutes in a period, so to get a takedown and still have a minute 45 is pretty impressive, wasting no time.
Nice.
Knee pick right to his back. Referee a little out of position there. Tries to get in. Watson cuts him loose. Score 4-2. Again, one of the senior leaders, all the credit, all the accolade. He's a super humble kid, but would be lying if I didn't say that he's not one of the leaders of this team, just in his actions, his attitude, and obviously his performance on the mat. Trip right to a near fall. That was
hurt me to watch.
And there's a fall. And I tell you what, that was one of those moves where I don't think the ref saw it coming. The other opponent didn't see it coming. That was a beautiful
little sweep there.
Yeah, 2-on-1 kind of foot sweep right to his back. They don't get much prettier than that. And here's a face that's been in and out of the lineup.
Lucas Shoemaker.
Yep. I'm going to say wrestling at 52 pounds. And there's a nice slide by right there by Mooresville. I think this will be the first offensive points Mooresville scored. Period.
JV and varsity.
Correct. That'll be I know it's the first takedown, and I'm fairly certain it's the first points. Shoemaker with a slide by, but rights the ship right to his feet. We got a 2-1 match here at 152 pounds. Center Grove leads 40-0. So he is taking on Corbin Scott from Mooresville. And Shoemaker is in on an underhook collar tie. There's a kind of a duck under attempt
coming back into that waterfall position.
And Shoe is so long here. It looks like his opponent, Corbin Scott, is also pretty lengthy. But, a lot of times Shoe's able to get into those waterfall positions and score just because of the height he can get. Smartly works up to his feet, does kind of a dump whip over there, scores his takedown. And just like that, we got ourselves a little bit of a match here. 3-2, Center Grove leading with 50 seconds to go in the first period. Trojans lead the dual meet 40-0. This at 152 pounds.
Oh,
a switch
nice
and then
switch
another
attempt.
switch.
Yeah.
Some fun wrestling here. Looks like a crossface and far ankle attempted here.
Really wanting to chase that cradle down.
We got 25 seconds here. You'll see this will be a fun ride. No reversal here. And the escape ties it all up, 3-3, and we're on our feet with 15 seconds to go. Another slide by attempted. Looks like Mooresville competitor Corbin Scott really likes that slide by. He's attempted it now from both sides and multiple times.
Yeah, I think Shoemaker here from Center Grove is kind of starting to catch on to that, kind of anticipating it a little bit. And it looks like he's almost trying to set up his offense right off his slide by. So.
And Shoemaker's another one of those guys that has a good double leg, and he's pretty good on top with the legs. I expect him to go boots in here. We'll see if he can kind of slide a leg in. Looks like he went for that knee. He's going back to that far ankle. Corbin sitting out. Shoemaker following. Looks like he's got a wing kind of halfway dug in there. Going to try to improve his position. So Shoemaker here on top is going to be looking for a breakdown. He does get the breakdown and the tilt, but able to roll through. This time he catches it. You really want to have that foot in position so that you can stop him from rolling all the way through and score points here. I shooted everything right there except for have his foot in position.
Yeah, and a couple back points here, something that he really needs in a close match like this. And here he goes, he's getting them this time.
I was going to say, yeah, this is make the adjustment right here, pick up, and that'll be 3 near fall, which in a tied match, any 3 near fall, that's
a a make or break situation sometimes that a lot of people really look over is, can you score points on top?
Oh, and he goes assassin here, using his length, going to try to get 3 more, and he's going to get it.
Pick up the fall, I think.
And if you can hear,
there it is. From 3 to 3 to picking up the fall.
And like we said going into it, he is good on top. That's one of those things where I think that this is his first time in the varsity lineup, and just, getting those jitters out, getting everything done. Center Grove had Riley Rust, and we've had some other good competitors over the last couple years. And Julian Weems out to take the forfeit for Center Grove. And I tell you what, that's too bad. Really was looking forward to seeing Julian wrestle. He's another one of those power freshmen that Center Grove's lucky to have and really make an impact right away.
Picking up his first win in a Trojan singlet without anybody wrestling him.
Yep. And so here we have Noah Klauser. He's another member of the, I'll call them super sophomores, with Reese Courtney and LaRocca and Drew Mills. Noah getting his second start as a Center Grove Trojan. Put on some weight.
Last year was 132 pounds. This year,
all the way up to 170.
170.
What a difference a year can make. Already in on a takedown.
And he is every bit of 170 pounds. Too.
He is able to sniff out kind of that roll-through move that Mooresville was attempting right there, finish the double, and now he's on top, which is also his best position, I would say.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you.
So, fighting wrists, going to look for a wing or a half. Looks like he's going to go with a wing route. He's got plenty of time. He's got a minute. He leads 2-0.
Wing, and he's trying to get a half there on that left side with that wing.
I tell you what, I got to go back to, I guess 2 matches because Williams got a forfeit in there. But that assassin, that was fun. You don't get to see that a lot, but that was fun.
And he hit it,
and
just
it was
at
textbook.
Hit it at the perfect time. I didn't even see it coming.
No, that was fun and a great way to break open a tight match. And that's the fun with wrestling, right? It can be a tied-up match, and then all of a sudden, even in overtime, you can end the match immediately by getting a fall. So, just exciting. Exciting.
No one's ever more than one move away from picking up a win in this sport. Doesn't matter what the score is during the match. You could be 14-0, point away from a tech fall, and somebody throws a headlock.
Klauser here taking on, looks to be Dylan Pierce from Mooresville. I'm not sure if I can read my own scribbles. Center Grove leads 52-0. We're at 170 pounds. There's 14 weight classes, and we're well on our way in this dual meet. Klauser leads the match 2-0, and that's the end of the first period. Going into the second period, green defers. And so the Mooresville opponent will choose neutral. And you know what? Honestly, a smart play. He was, had some good defense to Noah's initial attack. Almost got that kind of rollback kick through right there. So I'll look for him to try to, use some good defense and maybe try to hit, slide by or a roll through kick.
Another good double right off of the Mooresville wrestler slide by.
There we go.
And he's looking to pick up some near fall too. He's going to get the 2 for the takedown, 2 for the near fall. Kind of breaks this thing open 6-0.
And did you see it kind of sneak into your view right there? We that full-bodied individual right there in the gray and black. That's Nate Johnson, one of our football players we were talking about. He's obviously a few weeks removed because he's got to go win himself a high school football state title. But you can tell he's fired up here supporting his teammates. He's ranked in the state at 285. He's ranked 15th in the state. So, go from playing football at a high level to wrestling at a high level, and it's fun to see those guys here supporting their team. Noah in again, scoring more near fall. He currently leads 8-1. He's got 1:15 to go in the second period. Going back to that wrist and wing, wrist and a half, trying to open him up. You can tell Klauser is shaking him, trying to move him here, get him to open up on bottom a little bit. You know, when you like to work on top, sometimes it can be frustrating when you can't get the bottom guy to open up. I expect if he stays like this, the referee will intervene and hit for a stalling here shortly.
And something that I've noticed really, not even just in wrestling, but even with our football program too, is something people overlook a lot, the strength program here at Center Grove.
Definitely.
When you are just paired up against a guy who is
nice
strong, you may be able to keep the match close for the first period, but eventually he's going to start wearing on you. And as he starts kind of wearing on you, it gets a lot harder to defend those takedowns, as we're seeing now with Noah. And eventually it's going to get hard to keeping those arms in and, keeping Noah out from being able to turn.
Well, he may have to take things into his own kind of hands again. You saw just before this takedown, did an intentional release right there, went ahead and scored again. He's got a major decision going right now with a 10-2 lead. This is the first time we've seen the third period.
Yeah, it is. First time all night.
Think long, think wrong. This is the first time we've seen the third period. A lot of good wrestling here tonight at Center Grove High School.
Center Grove does not want to give up this shutout.
And Klauser up and out to his feet, turns and cuts away, and we're back on our feet, wrestling neutral. He leads 11-2. Center Grove leads the Mooresville Pioneers 52-0. We've got some edge wrestling. The crowd's starting to get involved. I think they're looking for a stall call too. I'm not the official, but I kind of agree with the crowd. It might be warranted at this point.
To go ahead for stalling.
And looks like we're going to have a referee's modification.
There's a little bit of an issue with the clock.
Our head official here is going to take, it looks like 6 seconds maybe off the clock, or add 6 seconds. I'm not sure which, but we'll
I think he took 10 seconds off the clock.
And it looks like it's going to stand. So, now we're at 1:30 in the third period. Klauser leading 11-2. Going back to kind of collar tie and hit. And a little bit of fight in the Mooresville athlete here as he decides he's going to go kind of head and arm. Klauser able to break free. We got just at a minute, so if we're going to keep the tech fall train rolling, we got a minute to go. And there's another kind of slide by, sniffed out by Klauser as he kind of goes body lock / double there. Down to 50 seconds in this match.
At the very worst right now, we're looking at a major decision, which keeps us at
bonus point
all
wins.
Bonus point
and
wins.
there's a double leg. And I'm not sure that Klauser shouldn't go ahead and kick him loose right here and try to work from his feet. He's got 35 seconds. He leads 13-2.
He's got a wing in
He's got a wing. We'll see if he kind of maybe not hurry up offense because it's not football, but that's the best way I can describe it to our viewers at home. He's going to maybe rush this where he normally would take his time, kind of slow things down. You can see him starting to get active in these last 15, 16 seconds as he starts hopping from side to side.
There's a stall call by the referee on red, giving Klauser 1 more point. So we're 3 points away from a tech fall with just 5 seconds left, not quite enough time. So we're going to go ahead and secure a major decision here at 170
bonus
pounds.
Point wins. And I don't want to sound negative or anything like that or whatever else, but how spoiled are we that we're like, oh man, this thing's going to go the whole distance. That's the first match of the night that's gone all 3 periods, and it still ended in a Trojan victory with a major decision. So not even just a regular victory, a bonus point victory.
I feel bad because I wish we could have got another tech fall or a fall.
I know. Looks like Mooresville is going to elect to not wrestle Buchanan.
I wouldn't either.
I have wrestled with him in practice.
Yeah,
not fun.
No, not at all. If I wrestle with him at practice, I tend to try to get him towards the end of practice after he's wrestled 4 or 5 live goes, and I can start on top.
I hear you. And we got another forfeit, so we took back-to-back forfeits. So as we were kind of giving you the accolades of our senior 182-pounder, Drake Buchanan, we also got a forfeit from the Pioneers at 195. Receiving the forfeit was James Studebaker, old Studi. And now we're at Royce Deckert III, known locally as Trey. And Trey is going right to work.
We have all 3 of the Royce Deckards in the house tonight. We got Royce.
I was going to say, careful. I wouldn't call him old. He still might come over here and hurt us.
And then we've got Royce Deckard II, Coach Deckard, or a lot of us call him Deuce. And then you've got Trey wrestling right now. And
you know what? A lot of hard work, a lot of effort put in by Trey here to, get to the right weight class, get, just everything figured out. And, man, is it paying off. There's a fall, and you can tell the excitement. That's it's a big win for him. Nice big pin. And Center Grove is pouring it on, 74-0 and 285. Looks like there's going to be another forfeit by the Mooresville Pioneers. Center Grove's going to get another forfeit.
And that's going to be the dual meet?
That's going to be the dual meet. Man, don't blink. This Center Grove team is good. I tell you what.
That was a full dual meet in just over 30 minutes. A varsity dual meet. Most varsity dual meets take about an hour.
And so, can we just go ahead and talk about this? So, again, I said I wasn't a mathematician. I even had to pull up my calculator, but there's 14 weight classes. 6 is a pin, so a perfect score is 84. Trojans put up 80. So, talking about staying ranked and doing it impressively, Trojans look good tonight as they roll over the Mooresville Pioneers, 80-0. At this time, towards the end, I'd like to take another chance to shout out our sponsor, Jones Barbershop. Jones Barbershop here in Center Grove community. They do awesome job supporting Center Grove athletics and the Center Grove community as a whole. They accept walk-ins. You can book online at jonesbarbershop.com. You can also call them, set up an appointment at 317-360-9470. Again, that number is 317-360-9470. And, hey, go ahead and give them a like and a follow on Facebook and Instagram. Tell them Center Grove Wrestling sent you. Give them that comment. It's Jones Barbershop 317. So that's Jones Barbershop 317 on Facebook and Instagram. And, man, what a great night for Center Grove Wrestling. 4th ranked in the state, starting off with the Mooresville Pioneers, 80-0. Bonus point wins, only had 1 match go the distance. And this isn't even Center Grove's best lineup. We've got, like we said, several guys that are finishing up football that are going to come out. And as scary good as this is, I can't wait to see them. I'm excited. I don't know if everybody, the fans out there, can hear my excitement. I'm excited to hear them compete. See them compete with my own eyes. Once they get everybody in play. Now, Center Grove football guys, don't come back quick. Go ahead and win a high school state title. I wish those guys all the best, all the luck. They don't need it, but I'm excited for them. And here in a second, we're going to get head coach Swain come up. We'll give him an interview and talk to him about his feelings, his thoughts on his Trojans and getting off to a great start and the season as a whole. Again, I'd like to thank Jones Barbershop for supporting your Center Grove Trojans. And joining me now, got a big smile on his face, is our head coach, Swain. Hey, Coach. We're technical difficulties right here, figuring them out. Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, I tell you what, I'm no mathematician, but 84 is a perfect score, and your Trojans put up 80. That's got to make you feel good as we go into the year.
Yeah, the guys came out and wrestled hard. They've been beating each other up for 3 weeks now, and it's just exciting for them to get out there and wrestle somebody that's not a teammate. So they did a good job today.
Now, Coach, can you kind of talk? We were talking about just the depth that you have, not only as far as age, juniors and seniors, but you've got some guys on this team that have wrestled a lot of matches and have really worked hard. What's it like for you kind of preparing to come into this season knowing you're going to have such an experienced team and, the expectations and everything that come along with it?
The best thing about this team is, none of these guys really have egos. They know that, every day in the practice room is going to be tough and every spot's going to be hard to get. And, so they come in each day and they worked hard and we got a really good team and it's exciting. But, with that being said, our guys are bought into the program and they're bought into, if they're not the varsity guy, they might be the varsity guy next week or the following week. So.
Definitely. And talk to me about this senior class a little bit. I think this is this your first full class, correct?
Yeah, this is my first full class, and I think we got 15 seniors on the roster, which is a lot. And guys work hard every day. We got some great leaders in our senior class, and it's kind of going to be a special group for me, just because like you said, it's my first senior class here from freshman through senior year at Center Grove.
Yeah, I mean, and not only are they good individuals on and off the mat, but they're showing up in the rankings and just their college choices. We got one going to Air Force and we got one going to the Citadel, and just a lot of fun like that, I'm sure, as a coach, to watch those guys kind of progress from freshmen all the way to seniors.
Yeah, Hayden Watson and Drake Buchanan, obviously those two guys are as of right now 2 of our seniors that have committed to go to college for wrestling, and I'm assuming we're going to have a couple more. So. But yeah, those guys, along with the other seniors, man, they're great leaders and they do everything right on and off the mat. So when you got guys like that, it makes it easy, on the mat as far as coaching. You don't have to worry about their, off the mat. Those guys are always doing the right things. And
I got one more question for you, Coach. Sorry to put you on the spot, but Kelly and I were talking about last year. This dual meet didn't happen because Mooresville, they had some success in their football program and they didn't feel they were ready to compete. You've obviously just had to adjust, as a coach. We've had, we're going to have a successful football program. What's that been like for you, just trying to, guys are coming in and out, you're working through, post-football injuries, getting guys ready, weight management. There's a lot that goes into wrestling, What's kind of your mindset, just trying to keep pace with those guys, what's
the first 3 weeks are always tough. I mean, we got a heck of a football team, and it's, we love watching those guys compete, and we expect those guys to win state title this coming weekend. But with that being said, we got the depth where we're able to still have success even if we don't have all of our guys. It's always an interesting first 3 weeks, and it's like you said, wrestling, there's so much that goes into not just walking out there on the mat and wrestling. I mean, you got weight management, you got just a bunch of stuff you got to worry about. So just being able to have a group that's so deep as far as our lineup and being able to shuffle around if we need to and get guys in spots so we can still be successful, that's the good thing of having a lot of depth.
Definitely. All right, Coach. Well, I'll let you go celebrate with your other coaches. Look forward to following Trojan Wrestling all the way through. Man, it's going to be a good year.
Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and hopefully you guys are here next time.
All right. And that was our head coach, Maurice Swain. Looks like we're going to get a few other interviews. While I've got everybody here, I'd like to give another shout-out to Jones Barbershop. Again, Jones Barbershop here in the Center Grove community. Call them at 317-360-9470, or you can follow them on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Jones Barbershop 317. And joining me now is senior Hayden Watson. Hayden, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, especially after a good win against Mooresville.
No, that's a fun win. It's your first high school match. Coming down, getting to weight for the first time. You're back at 145 pounds. How'd you feel tonight? Obviously the team wrestled well, you wrestled well, got a fall. Walk me through this process of this first match, coming down, getting to weight. How was your thoughts coming into it?
Getting to weight was kind of a struggle for me the first time because here in the past recently I wrestled at Super 32, and it was a little bit of a struggle for me to get down to 45 that first time. but I felt like it was a whole lot easier this time since I've already made it once.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like, taking it upon yourself to go wrestle in the off season and kind of keep your weight in check, that set you up for success tonight to, it wasn't quite a shock to your body to get back down to weight? Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it definitely helped out a lot.
And, talk to me a little bit about, the team and just, transitioning. You were a leader last year being a junior, but, now it's kind of all eyes on you. You're turning state runner-up. You're a senior, committed to wrestle in college. Does any of that weigh on your mind to go out there and put a performance on, or are you just kind of wrestling your own match? What are your thoughts?
It does a lot. I mean, I always have that pressure on my back, trying to be number one, especially from last year, not getting that match done in the finals. But this year, I believe I can do it, and that's one of my top priorities right now.
I tell you what, man, we had a great crowd tonight. Did you notice that crowd? I was going to say it's fun to be back in this, gym, and COVID, everybody did the best they could, but it's fun to be back here and the home of wrestling for Center Grove and have all the fans back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun having all the parents there. Some parents, the new kids that I haven't met, that I've met just this year, and just having a bigger crowd than normal helps a lot.
No, definitely. Is there any one tournament or anything not that you overlook any opponents, but is there any one tournament other than the state series that you're really excited to go to or wrestle at?
The Al Smith.
Now, Center Grove missed that last year, correct, up in Mishawaka?
It was actually canceled, so then we had a four-way duel with Crown Point, Perry, and Columbus East in Brownsburg.
Nice. What do you like about that tournament?
It brings a lot of competition to the table. Kids you don't normally see during the season or during the state series until later.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to let you. I'm sure you're tired. Coming down. You didn't have to wrestle that long. I think it was about 40-second match, able to pick up the fall. But it's good to talk to you. I'll be following as we go through the season, and I wish you the best of luck as you move forward.
Thank you.
And Trojan fans, I'm excited to bring you the brains of the operation, Charlie LaRocca. What's that GPA looking like, bud?
4.7.
4.7. All righty then. You're already smarter than me. Of course, all the viewers knew that. So, hey, Charlie, talk to me about, it's your sophomore year. You're part of that super sophomore class with, Reese and yourself, getting Drew Mills back in the lineup. Man, it's good to see him in a Center Grove singlet. And just talk to me about, the start of your sophomore year, how things are going, your choice on going 106. Just, give me the rundown, the lay of the land.
I don't know, just, I guess, getting out those early season jitters, just working out the kinks, getting down on weight. It was a pretty tough first 2 weeks on the cut, but hasn't been that bad since. And
yeah,
it's just about getting those jitters out.
No, definitely. I mean, no matter how good you are, I feel like sometimes it's hard when you're expected to do well. You're ranked in the state. You were a match away from going to state last year, and you're just trying to get back in the rhythm of thing. I think sometimes even when you're the better wrestler, all that kind of pressure can add up. Speaking of pressure and everything else, had a little bit of a good scramble there to start off that match. Were you expecting that? Did you know anything about this opponent to start off?
I've wrestled them before freestyle season. My coach told me before, Coach Swain told me that their coaches were expecting a good match, so I was expecting a good opponent. It was a little iffy there with a scramble. Probably could have had better hip pressure, but I was able to wrestle through it, come back, and get the pin. And
nice.
It was just like working out those kinks again, those early season jitters.
No, definitely. And I tell you what, you kind of brought it up with freestyle season. I know the season didn't end last year exactly how you wanted it to. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about the things that you've done. You mentioned freestyle. What things have you done to try to get ready to go into this year? Can you give me a little bit of a look into what your off season was like?
Well, something that Coach Swain has been hounding me about for the last year is my stance and getting down, bend knees, hips. And last year, that's one of the reasons in that semi-state round-to-go match I wasn't able to quite get there and go to state. But that's been a big focus, finishing my shots, just all those things that you need to work on to be a good wrestler.
Nice. All right, I'll finish the same question with you that I finished with Hayden Watson. Last year, your freshman year was kind of weird with, COVID and everybody did the best they can. Is there a tournament this year that you're really looking forward to for one reason or another, whether it be the Al Smith, the county, something new that I'm not aware of? Is what are you kind of looking forward? You don't overlook anybody, obviously, but what are you looking forward to?
I would say one personally, county. Last year, I didn't quite win county. I had a good opponent from Indian Creek. But I guess the biggest thing is probably, the Al Smith, because we missed out on that last year. There's a lot of good teams there. Probably the toughest in-season competition besides Team State we'll go to. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll let you go get your study on, go get your rest. Always a fun time talking to you, Charlie. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hey. Trojan fans, I'm joined by Shoemaker. Hey, bud, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, so hey, let's talk about our match here tonight at 152 pounds. I tell you what a jump from going from giving up a takedown to then tying it up. And talk to me about that assassin. Is that something you've been working a lot, or what was the motivation for that? Obviously, you wanted to end with a fall. Is that something you've been training on, though, or?
Yeah, it's something I've started using the past few years, just like on and off during practice or like once or twice a year. And it's something I like hitting because I feel like it's somewhat unique compared to like other basic pinning combinations. So.
No, I mean, you've got the length for it, and you executed it perfectly. You go back and listen to the tape. I know me and Kelly were both excited and, kind of like, oh, man, he really just hit an assassin. So, talk to me about just getting better on top and what you've done. Your top wrestling was able to break things open for you, in that match. It was a tight match, and then you were able to get a tilt and then ultimately hit that assassin. I mean, even if you don't get the fall there, that's 6 points is, the top where you see yourself, your best chances to win, or just talk to me about your philosophy on top.
Well, like top's never been like one of my like sort of strong points in wrestling, but in this specific match, he kind of after the first period, he like kind of like almost like broke down. He was like super sloppy, and so I could just like tight waist, get a wing and just hold him down and wait to get a tilt. He was kind of like broken down at that point really quick. So
okay, and I'll keep it 3 for 3 with you. Is there a tournament or a competition that you're really looking forward to as the season progresses?
Not specifically.
No? All right. Gonna do the coach's choice and say you don't overlook anybody. I can respect that. All right, bud. Well, I wish you all the best as future competitions, and we'll keep it up with you.
Thank you.
All right. Trojan fans, last but certainly not least, we're having Michael Tharp. Got a little tongue-tied earlier, almost called you Michael LaRocca. Don't listen to that part of the tape, bud. No, I tell you what, Michael, hey, welcome to the show. So I tell you what, talk to me about, this is your senior year. Obviously, you had expectations and whatnot last year, but now this is your senior year. You're got a ranking. It's your senior year. You're on a really good team. What was your kind of thought process as you come into tonight's duel?
Just make sure I'm getting my technique down, make sure everything's tight and crisp. You can't really overlook anybody. You just got to make sure you get to your stuff and be tough.
No, definitely. So, Coach Kelly and I were talking about just the depth of the lineup and all the different, practice partners you have here at Center Grove with, everybody from starting at 13 with Eddie Goss to Reese Courtney to Michael LaRocca, just the depth, that you have right there around you. Has it been fun or has it been kind of challenging in the practice room to have, just constant competition?
Everything is a grind. I love to embrace it. It's just another thing in the bucket. It makes me get better. I love having the competition in the room. Plus, I get to have other partners that can train with me, different styles, stuff like that.
No, definitely. So, are you planning on wrestling in college? I was gonna say, I know there's people been asking. Is it something that you don't have to tell me which school or whatever else, but is it something that you look forward to doing, that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I look forward to wrestling in college. I'm just not sure yet where I want to go yet, nor what career I want to pursue.
No, that's all right. Hey, it's just your senior year. You don't have to make a life choice or whatever else. But no, it's good to know, and I know the Trojan fans will be excited to watch you, compete this year and then on into the future as you follow that kind of path. I'll go with my question I've asked everybody so far. Last year was kind of a weird year with COVID and everything. The team did the best they could. The Center Grove administration did the best they could. and we got a lot of wrestling in, but there were some things that were canceled or missed. Is there anything that you look forward to this year that you didn't have last year, like a tournament, county, the Al Smith, anything like that you're really looking forward to this year?
Man, I'm looking forward to many tournaments, but Al Smith, I haven't been able to compete in that tournament since freshman year with injuries, COVID, stuff like that. So I'm just really hyped up for that one.
No, definitely. Well, I wish you all the best. Not that you need it for this coming season. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple other interviews with you as we go through the rest of the season. And, man, congrats on a nice win tonight. And the Trojans roll tonight as they win 80-0 over Mooresville Pioneers. All right. I would like to mention, we did all the interviews and we had great coverage of Center Grove sports. I'd like to shout out Jones Barbershop. They're here in the Center Grove community. Jones Barbershop. Walk-ins are welcome. You can book online at jonesbarbershop.com. Call for an appointment. If you choose that route, you can call at 317-360-9470. Hey, and go ahead and give them a like or a follow on Facebook or Instagram. Tell them Center Grove Sports Network sent you there. The Trojan Wrestling Team. Jones Barbershop, 317. All right. And that'll be it from Center Grove High School here in Greenwood, Indiana. Go Trojans, go.